Oh my gosh, if there is one thing that gets on my ever-loving last nerve, it is when my husband comes to me with this phone and he says, look what this is worth. I Googled it. Now, he knows me well enough by now that he knows Googling it is one of my biggest pet peeves. Not necessarily for newbies, because sometimes you guys don't know any better, but my hubby knows better, and that drives me crazy. Hi, I'm Debbie Baldwin with Whozits and Whatzits. Be sure to subscribe and come back often, because the more you watch, the more you're going to make as I show you treasures galore that are going to make you more on eBay. So you're at a thrift store or garage sale, you see this amazing treasure and you're thinking, I don't know what it's worth, but it's gotta be worth something. So you decide you're gonna look it up on eBay. You pick it up, you type it into the search bar, and bam, you see a bunch of active listings and you're like, oh, okay, this is worth $50. Sweet. But maybe not so sweet. You don't know, because you're only looking at active listings. And active listings does not always give you a good gauge of if it's actually worth that much money. Why do I say that? Because we've all seen the people that have put $1,000 on a Cheeto that's got the face of Mary in it, right? Any Yahoo can ask any ridiculous price for any item. Doesn't mean it's gonna sell. So we want to look at completed listings because we want to see what it's actually worth and if people are actually buying this. So the first thing you're gonna do is obviously type it into the search bar, but you're gonna scroll down on your left-hand side if you're on your computer. If you are on your phone, then it's just up under filters, but you're just gonna go and select completed listings. Now you're not gonna go to sold listings, and I'll explain that a little bit later about why, but right now we're just gonna select completed. Okay, so you're gonna immediately see, obviously the price is what's gonna stick out to you. It's gonna show you all of the prices on these items. Now, you're gonna see some in green, you're gonna see some in red, and you are gonna see some in black. And it just depends on if you're using the app or the computer, but when you see these numbers, if it's red or black, that means the item did not sell. But if you see the price that's in green, that means it's sold, and that's the amount that it's sold for. You're also going to see the date. And I highly recommend that you go ahead and go up to the top and go to sort by and select ended recently. This is just going to give you a gauge of all of the items that have ended, obviously the most recently. And the reason why we want to see that is because, well, like everything, the market fluctuates. So you kind of want to see what it's selling for now and not 2 months ago. So now you're gonna see the shipping cost underneath the price. Now, if it says free shipping, that means the seller paid shipping, the buyer did not have to pay, so it was just kind of included in the price. If you see a number, that means the buyer paid shipping, and that's the amount that they paid. The reason why this is important is because this is going to help you strategize on your pricing. Are you going to offer free shipping? If so, you might want to pad in what the average shipping cost is on the other items, okay? So if you see the cost, let's say it's $10, then you want to pad that into your price. So instead of doing $15 plus $10 shipping, you just say $25 with free shipping. Real quick, I'm not sure if you noticed this or not, but if you're looking at the computer version versus the app, it may not show the shipping cost if the buyer paid shipping. You might actually have to click on those listings to find that out. But on the app, it does show you what the buyer paid for shipping. I'm not exactly sure why that is. Okay, another thing you're going to see when you look at completed listings is you're going to see whether it was a buy it now or an auction. Now, in general, I like buy it now better than auction. Usually you will see items bring in more money when they do buy it now, but not always the case. And that's why this is important to look at. Now, I also did an episode about when to use buy it now and when to use an auction. So you might want to go watch that video and it'll explain to you in detail. But in general, I like buy it now a little bit better than auction. Now, why are we not looking at sold instead of just completed? Well, the reason why is because if you just go to sold, then all you're going to see are the sold items. And this is important because you want to see the items that did not sell. You want to see if there's 100 listings out there that did not sell, right? So that just because 2 people bought it does not mean 100 people are gonna buy it. And so it's important for you to see that, especially given the recent activity. So you don't wanna go to sold right now, not in this case. In this case, you wanna look at completed. So you can kind of get the whole picture. The whole picture is really important. By the way, you might want to look at active listings to see what your competition is doing, to see what their prices are at, that kind of thing. But I just mean in general, when you are shopping and looking for things, you want to see the history. That to me is more important than what's going on right now. You know what I mean? Can I just take a minute to appreciate some of these Cheetos? I cannot even believe that some of these are selling. And I totally sense a new episode coming on. I'm thinking I might have to do an episode about weird shaped Cheetos, but some of these are cracking me up, like the Kim Kardashian and crying Batman and the protester. Oh my word, these people have such an active imagination and had to have been world champs at cloud watching. Am I right? Oh man. Now you know how to look at completed listings to look at what the individual item is worth. But is it worth your time? Well, that's important to know. And if you haven't watched this episode already, you should watch this episode because I explain in it how to evaluate your time. I think that's a word. How to evaluate your time and see if it's worth your time selling it on eBay.